head coach?
The win is always great, always terrific. It's good to coach here again. But it's a phenomenal experience to be coaching these guys. Hopefully to a successful season. We'll see how it goes. Good win for us, playing a team that plays really hard. They beat us up pretty good on the offensive glass. We obviously went small for a large portion of the game. And, we turned it too many times. We had 15 turnovers. We got to obviously clean that up. But overall, good win for us. So I'm grateful for that.
Fran, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of your coaching career, the offense has been predicated on half-court style play, slowing the ball down a little bit. You guys turned that game into a track meet, getting up and down the floor, especially in small ball situations and groupings. Is that different for you? Do you enjoy doing that? How does that kind of compare? I've never liked doing that.
Well, but if you have a guy like Brantley, what are you going to do? Just slow him down? You're going to have to put up with some of the things that he does. And, do I want to play that fast all the time? No. If we could get leads, be up, whatever we were for a stretch there, we had a really nice run at it. And after Amor Gill makes a jumper, I think in that other corner, I think we got it to 11. So there was ways that I think we were doing a really good job, no matter what offense we were in, whether we were running set offense or getting some rebounds and running out with it. But we got to be equally adept at running good offense as we do of being a much better defensive basketball team than we were today.
What do you think it shows about this team, so much of a new group, to fight against so much adversity and handle so much adversity well, just like the second game playing together?
Yeah, I mean, it's what happens in the world of college athletics these days. There's a lot of new guys and a lot of teams, and so we have some new guys. And, we'd like to be healthy. We'd like to get a set rotation. But it's what happens in the world today. We have plenty of time to work with them, by the way. You work 8 weeks in the summer, then you get them in the fall, and then you get from September the 26th to November the 7th, you got them a lot of hours a week. So you just work with guys. And, the thing that's so critical is the film piece, which it teaches you so much. So if they pay attention, they're going to be okay, and they just got to sacrifice for their teammates. Play good team basketball, and no matter how many new guys you get, you can play it as a team.
Going back to the pacing, we were just talking about, you mentioned earlier in the year that Khalil was more of that ball of energy, and Jameer was more of the pace and steady guy. In situations like this game, do you feel like that fit Khalil better than maybe Jameer? I mean, I know Jameer played 30 minutes. Khalil played 36. Like, is that something you want to kind of keep those guys comfortable in? You want to see Jameer in more of those up-tempo spots?
Sure. If it results in us putting some space between us and the opposition, that would be great. So, but Jameer's a good basketball player. He's got a good head for the game. That being said, he gets tripped going for a inbound pass. Can't get tripped. It's real simple. You're so solid. He's a pretty strong kid. Go get it, chin it, and then we won't be turning it over. We turned it like 3 different times out of bounds in a full court situation. Can't happen. So they're going to play a lot of minutes together. They can work together. They have a pretty good chemistry, the two of them. And we got to get Burkus, getting some points on the board as well. He gets not enough shots, and I think he defers too much.
For as long as you coached Fran Dunphy way meant a LaSalle loss. Is there any extra happiness coming inside that you can win in this building and also make your fellow LaSalle alumni happy?
Well, sure. Sure. No question about it. I mean, again, I've said it countless times. I'm grateful to LaSalle for what it gave to me so many years ago, and then they came back, gave me more of an opportunity as a coach and another opportunity as a coach. And now, at this point in my life, I'm happy to be here, happy to be helping these 15 guys on this team be better humans, better basketball players, and hopefully great LaSallians.
And what about just the crowd in general, pretty much?
Yeah, that was great. To be honest with you, you don't think about it too much when the ball's in play. But I did take a step back and saw a lots of the other side of the floor, lots of those seats filled. We could certainly use that every game. Maybe we'll have homecoming every game. See if Brian Baptiste will let that up.
Apparently it's the first game the Drame brothers both scored double figures in their entire college career.
Is that right?
Is that surprising to you? Is that something you think you're going to see more often as the season goes on?
Well, that would be great if it happens a lot for us, because they're going to be out of the court a lot. Obviously, Fouche started the first game, Haas starts this game. We'll see what happens against Queens on Tuesday, who starts. I think more important than starting is finishing. But we need both of those guys to do good things, to rebound the ball, to make plays, to make shots, get to the foul line. We had a few too many turnovers from both of them, so we need to clean that stuff up. I'm grateful for them being on our team.
Any particular reason you went with Marrero today over Burgess in the starting lineup?
Yeah, sometimes we have different opinions about what timeliness is. And the thing about Marrero is he does everything you ask him to do. Everything. He's a good student, maintenance levels nowhere. He can make shots. So timing is a wonderful thing.
For such a new group together, one thing I noticed was the switching on defense. It seemed to be, you guys, this is like your third year together. I mean, are you impressed by that this early on? Do you expect that?
In stretches, I was really impressed. I thought we did a really good job of switching and talking. I think we're allowing a lot of switching because there's great communication that comes with switching. But there were other times where we gave up way too many drives to the rim. Drive and kick a couple of times, and drive and feed to a big kick. Lewis, we made him a pretty good basketball player today. And he's probably a really good player. He's going to get even better. But he hurt us pretty well, pretty solidly, and especially in the second half.
Thank you,
All right, thanks. Thank you, fellas.
The game, we played against a really good team, a team that we had to stay focused the whole game because Wagner, they're going to play hard. They're never going to give up if they're down by 15, down by 10 with a minute left, a couple minutes left. So when they made their run, we came back and made our run. We had to play small ball, but I feel like once everybody decided to tag and rebound, and we focused our pride on rebounding and defense, we came together as a team and ended up victorious.
Khalil, you had a lot of success knifing through their offense, a couple no-look passes, just kind of getting what you wanted to get in the flow of the offense. What did you see at Wagner defensively that you were looking to exploit?
Like I said before, Wagner, they're very aggressive, so me, I use that against them, so they want to play up on me, if one move and go, and if somebody has to help, so it's either opposite or one of my men cut to the basket. Like playing with the twins, they're always cutting to the basket, they're always cutting, screening opposite, so they kind of made my job a little easier. All I had to do was hit the open man.
You guys seem to push the pace in this game, it's not playing that right.
Yeah, so since we ended up going small ball, we gotta have an advantage somewhere, somehow. So we decided to rebound and run the floor and get out in transition early because I feel like this year that's where we're gonna be best at, when we're in the open floor transition basketball.
What needs to change in the half-court offense? Because there were times when you weren't able to get in transition,
Right.
and it seemed like things started to slow down, and there wasn't as much flow and continuity.
With our team this year, this is really a brand new team without me, Jig, and Josh. So everybody else, and Mamadou. So everybody else is brand new to the team. So this is only the second game of the year. We're still getting a feel for how everybody moves and Dunphy's offense and different things like that.
As a point guard and a leader among the group, especially when you guys are on the floor together in huddles, whatever, when you hit that kind of adversity, they cut it to 5, they cut it to 4, what are those conversations like? What are you guys kind of saying to each other?
Well, in the huddles, that's one thing we take pride on, huddling up, because once we huddle up, that shows connection. So as long as we're connected, we're in control of our faith and our destiny. We know that if somebody missed the tag, we'll come into the huddle like, yeah, that's my fault, it's not gonna happen again. Yo, pick it up on defense. We are slacking on defense. Ain't no way. We said something. It was like 3 stops. 3 stops equals 1 kill. So as many 3 stops as we can get, that was basically like what's going to determine the game. Because like I said, we had to build it up on defense. Like our offense is going to come. We have scorers. Nick is going to hit. I'm going to score from here to there. Jameer is going to score. The Twins, they're going to hit a couple jump shots, get a couple layups. So our real pride is taking pride on defense and rebounding.
You mentioned that getting used to Dunphy's offense.
Right.
Any things in particular that are huge differences from last year that maybe things you were like, we got to do this last year, now Fran's saying no, don't do that, do it differently.
It's not even that he's not saying do it differently. Frank kind of has a new style, like you've seen in the beginning, a couple quarters of the game, the backdoor cuts. Like we've been working on the backdoors and different things like that a lot. So, picking your spots and reading the defense and not predetermining what you're going to do before the defense. We should let the defense show us like what we should run and how we should move on the offense.
I mean, obviously Wagner beat Temple in their season opener. How much did that sort of help open your guys' eyes that anybody can beat anybody kind of thing?
Right. So watching that Temple game, that's another thing. Yeah, watching that Temple game, Temple was up by like 15 or something with 2 or 3 minutes left in the game. And we kind of was in the same situation. We was up by like 10, 9, it's something like that. So we was up by that much. We like, we can't let them go because they're not going to stop for fighting and giving up. Like at halftime, that was my first thing I said when I went in the locker room. I'm like, we're up by 13. Don't get comfortable at 0-0. These guys are never going to get up. They're not going to stop. And that's what they did. They kept coming and kept coming. But, a couple different times we had big shots. Like at the end of the game, Josh hit a big 3. Early in the game when Deshaun Shepard came off the bench, he hit a big 3. And Gill hit a big 3 in the corner. So every time they had their little run, we always answered with a basket to keep us up or put us up by more.
The crowd, I mean, basically a sellout crowd tonight. It seemed like everybody was really into it. Is that a little bit of the Fran Dunphy effect coming into play?
Yeah, that's definitely the Dunphy effect. Him coming back, and that's another thing. Him coming back, like we all knew we had to get this game for him because he has all his buddies, all the alumni. Everybody was going to be here, and this is a big game for him, especially it being our first game at the crib. We can't lose at home. Like that's another motto we're going into this year. We got to protect home base. But yeah, Fran had a lot to do. I'm pretty sure he had a lot to do with selling out the crowd.
Does he talk about like being a Salle alum?
Yeah, he definitely talks about how, because that was one of our questions. Like with Fran, he's very open to us. He had came to one of my classes and talked to my class, and I asked him, he asked me questions. I asked him, I said, what are one of the main reasons you came back to LaSalle? It was like LaSalle was one of them schools that gave me my first chance to be a coach, and he played with Tom Gola and a bunch of these different people like that. So it's big for our coach Fran to come back and try to build us from the ground up.
One more.
No, definitely don't tell Fran he played with Tom Gola because I'm pretty sure Tom was like 15 or 20 years before him.
For
I think so.
well, he played with a couple of dudes like the jerseys that are hanging up in our gym. He played with a couple of those dudes, so that's another thing he be telling me.
Thank you.